that was interesting. Not really my cup of tea on GS15. Wood chips of the mind, but I give it a 50-50.
Stan is great at making kind of quirky pop songs, and to me that sounded like it would be maybe a B-side or something, or a demo for one of those kind of Ned's Atomic Dustbin transit core bands from the early 90s. Yes, quite enjoyed it.
Well, that was interesting. That was the unit with Song for Barbara, and I actually quite like that one. It sort of had a comedy circus appeal tune to it to me. So yeah, thumbs up to the unit.
So, unit, Song for Barbara. Unit are great at doing kind of punky feeling, kind of vaguely uncomfortable songs, and that was good. Punky feeling, uncomfortable, and kind of sort of reminded me of Bonzo Dog.
That was not my cup of tea at all. Pretty random, and if it doesn't get the neighbours shouting at you, I don't know what will.
So, that was Nil by Nose, who I might know a little bit about. I think in an alternate universe, that is the hit that Farrell did, and maybe I buried the jokes too deep within this track. Who knows?
I actually quite like that track. Very noisy, and I love loud music. And it kind of had a Doctor Who tune in the background to me. So yeah, big thumbs up from me to that one.
Ringmaster by Dumb Robot Pilot. That was quite cool. I can imagine a fashion show, an edgy London Fashion Week catwalk show being done in some like scuzzy alley or something, where they're walking down like that. Yes, quite enjoyed that.
Well, that was certainly interesting. Props for the name, the Lamppost Gullivers. But I despise that song. It reminds me a lot of Slipknot in some ways. But yeah, it's not a band I would go and see live. In fact, it's not a band I would listen to. But anyway, props up for giving it a go, guys.
So the Lamppost Gullivers. Yeah, I like that. Sludge metal meets stoner metal with a little sprinkle of the Butthole Surfers on top. The pig was cool.
He's the kind of boy who I would choose for company. Yeah.
I love that song by the unit, a song for Danny Whitworth. I thought it was absolutely classic. Lyrics were just my kind of lyrics. But yes, big thumbs up to those guys for that.
Oh, Unit, and their crazy, twisted, easy listening take on punk. Marvellous. Really like that one. It's I think the series that was on this godspunk collection seems to be from listening to lyrics, memories from school, and I think we can all relate to these different people that we may have seen in our school community.
Well, that was Howling the Typewriter, doing Jacob Swift, and that song I loved because it was a mixture between rap, hip hop, and punk to me, and I loved it.
What a cracking track. I think that is perhaps what MF Doom would sound like if he had lived in Blackpool.
Alien Carnage from Atom Furnace, and I really did not like that song. Firstly, it was too noisy for me, and I couldn't understand a word they were saying. So, I'm sorry guys, I have to give you a thumbs down.
So that was a nice bit of industrial power electronics there. And yeah, it wasn't too bad. I think it's quite nice because they kind of kept it short. And sometimes that is a right bonus.
That was a song by the Unit, and this time it's called Danny Wentworth. They had a song before called Song for Danny Wentworth, but I actually quite liked this one. It was just the tune. I really liked it. So well done, guys.
So Unit with their twisted take on lounge punk, easy punk, jazz punk. I enjoyed that. I could feel the freedom of Danny Wentworth, but the slight menace underneath that freedom.
There's no man living can shit in.
A very short song, but I like it. In fact, it's not really a song. It's more talking, but I like it.
No, Stan, he's a silly man.
So that was done Robot Pilot, and with a song called Happy Smashing Fun Time, and I loved the song. I thought it was just genius, absolute genius.
Yes, that was cool. It made me think. It sounded like the theme tune to a quiz or a TV show that was done in the early 80s or something like that. Possibly hosted by Mike Reed, John Craven or Noel Edmonds.
Large veiny members with government, and it's cool. And all I've got to say, and my friends, is random to that. That's all I've got to say.
So, yes. Goes on a bit, doesn't it?
None of us could understand what went on in your mind.
So, that was a song by Unit called A Song for Wayne Johnson, and it's not my cup of tea, but good lyrics and very random.
So that was a very discombobulated song, but from listening to the lyrics, the person sounded quite discombobulated himself.
Howling the Typewriter, Toaster, the song was called, and it kind of had a drum and bass feel to me. The lyrics about the toaster I thought were genius, absolute genius. So big ups to Howling the Typewriter. I like it.
Howling the Typewriter is great at kind of doing twisted, disjointed pop stuff, but I think that one was mainly focusing on disjointed with a big sprinkle of twisted.
So that was called Namaste by Sean Robert. And to be honest, I didn't really understand what that song was about. But I did think if someone did a song about the post-apocalyptic times, that could be the tune for it.
Now that felt like I'd fallen asleep while listening to a radio play and started to combine the sounds of the radio play and the dream together.
That was French Disco Punks by the Lamppost Gullivers. And to be honest, I thought that song was terrible. Not my cup of tea at all. And again, it's another song that if you want to annoy the neighbours, go ahead and play it.
I quite enjoyed that. It kind of sounded, I could get little tastes of Killdozer and perhaps even the Walking Seeds, but recorded a bit cleaner. So, yes, c'est bon to those French disco punks.
Well, that was the Atom Furnace with Evolution. And personally, I actually liked the lyrics more than the actual music in that. I thought the lyrics were quite fun and quite clever. So, yeah, I give them a 50-50 for that.
I quite enjoyed that, but I kept waiting for the gabba kick to...
So that was Nightclub in a Volcano, aka Me and Carl. And the song was called Pipe Bomb. And I will just say, I love the song, and we also had quite good fun making a video for this, so you should check it out.
Pipe Bomb. Oh, Power Rangers and crazy sounds and bad guys.
This is a song by Unit, and it's called A Song for Wayne Gibson, and I think it's an absolutely brilliant song. The lyrics are great, the music's great, just everything about it is just awesome.
I liked the kind of jazz breaks, or there's a bit the complicated timing breaks that would appear in this song, and then also I'm not sure if it was vibes, glockenspiel or xylophone, which sort of like cut through all the jungle overgrowth of all the sound within this track.
This is Dumb Robot Pilot, and the song's called Doreen. Now, there was no singing in it, but the actual tune was great. Actually, I think it's something that could be in Power Rangers. I just think it's an absolutely great song.
Short, sharp and celestial. That's all I can really say.
That was 305 by Howlin' the Typewriter, and I loved that song. I thought the beat was good, all the different instruments, and the lyrics were amazing.
So, there's Howlin' the Typewriter. He was doing a bit of glitchy, dubby, folky, buildy-uppy thingy. That was nice.